What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nice Kicks. What's going on? This is our Dating with Intentions episode. Hope everybody has your drinks ready. What's up, Facebook? I'm on Facebook to let you guys know that we are streaming Nice Kicks live right now on YouTube. So if you want to watch the show, head over to YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. What's going on? What's going on? Let me see where we're at here. What's going on, y'all? I am on the iPad, so I want to make sure I can see it the same way I could on my computer. If not, I will be switching over. So I know I have 2 people in the building. What's going on? Let's see if we can see the comments. We need to be able to see everything, y'all. Everything. How y'all doing this evening? All right, perfect. Swazo, thank you. The first one to leave a comment so I can actually see what's happening. Perfect. How are you, Swazo? What's going on, y'all? This is Nice Kicks. I'm just waiting for my guest co-host of the evening to join us. We're going to be talking about dating with intentions. That is the topic for the episode tonight. So thank you for everybody tuning in. If you're on Facebook and you want to tune into Nice Kicks Live, we are on YouTube Live right now. Check my page for the link. It will take you directly to YouTube. So make sure you jump on over to YouTube. What up, Brendan? I see you on Facebook, which is a miracle. I've never seen you on Facebook before. Interesting. So hope y'all are having a good evening. Happy Thursday. Chilling here. You got the hookah going. Okay, I see you. So as you guys may or may not know, my co-host Lisa will not be with us this evening. She has some things to attend to. So we will miss her this episode, but she will be back with us next week, Thursday, for our episode next week. So yeah, we're just waiting for my co-host to join. Looks like he just jumped in the building. So let me go ahead and invite him in. And let's get this popping, y'all. Hello.
Am I on here?
You on, but I know you got a face outside of a camera.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, Thomas? Oh, you got the grooves happening?
Oh, so fucking up. Out of these clubs.
Got the grooves going, I see, huh?
I mean,
all right.
It's all about the topic, right? Like relationships and all that.
Yep.
You know, we need to know why some of us are still running around like we're not grown, like we don't want to settle down. What makes one person real? What makes that one person the one, right?
Right. Yeah, because people are running around crazy. So what I did is I jumped on IG really quick because, as you know, this is our second episode on YouTube, and people tend to not want to follow the rules. So I just want to let everybody know to go on YouTube. So if you're on IG right now, welcome to Nice Kicks. I will be cutting off the live on IG in a minute. So please join us on Instagram. Listen to me. Join us on YouTube. We're on YouTube Live right now. We've moved the platform. So I'm trying to make sure everybody knows where we are. So welcome to the episode, Dating with Intentions. I want to big up my dude, Thomas, who's joining us on this episode.
Hey,
so kick it off, Tegan. Say again?
You got to call me Mayor, my alter ego.
Mayor Thomas.
Thank you.
Well, hey, there you go, your alter ego. Kick it off, everybody watching. Let us know who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Shout out to everybody. Thank you all for listening to Nice Kicks each and every Thursday. I go by the name of Mayor Thomas. I represent the Mayor's Lounge Show, which comes on every Sunday. Shout out to my co-host, Racine in the City, and my new co-host, Stebo, my DJ Slayer, Jeff behind the scenes, and everybody else who tunes in every week. So pretty much we talk about things that's happening in our neighborhood, things that's happening with the public. Whatever that's out there that needs to be talked about, we give you the real about it, and we give you our own little commentary. So y'all should tune in each and every Sunday, the Mayor's Lounge Show from 7 to 9 p.m. This week, we got Ray Royale coming on. We're doing a Valentine's Day show. We're Black every month, not just Black this month for Black History Month.
Every month. I know that's right. Facts. And Nice Kicks has had the opportunity of being on the Mayor's Lounge Show. So make sure you guys go support the Mayor's Lounge Show for sure. What's up, Elsa? What's up, Brendan Swazo on the live right now? Anybody on IG, again, please move over to YouTube because I will be cutting the IG stories off. The live off in a minute. We will not be on IG live now that we move to YouTube, and we want to make sure YouTube, the videos are just about the episode. So I just wanted to come on and say what's up and tell y'all to get on YouTube because I'll be logging off of IG Live. So jump on YouTube or you'll miss the show completely. So Thomas, Mayor Thomas, what we do at Nyce Kicks, every episode we kick off the episode with current events. So we talk about what's currently happening. And as you know, you're from as I know, you're from Boston. I'm from Boston. Lisa's from Boston. And we just had a Super Bowl recently where Tom Brady played in the Super Bowl. The goats, and actually won his 7th ring at 43.
Hey, listen, I got a lot to say about that. I like Brady.
Yep.
I like Brady because he brought us 6 rings, but there's so much hype surrounding Brady, like he's the golden child. He can't do nothing wrong. He can't say nothing wrong. Like they just had their parade, right? Dude's drunk as hell off the boat. Drunk as hell. If that was any other player that was black, it would have been, oh, they need to know how to hold their composure. They're professional, blah, 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 blah. But he's Brady, so he gets away with it. I'm not shitting on Brady. I like Brady, but I don't care too much about him getting 7 rings. It wasn't with us, so whatever.
He got 6 with us.
He got 6 with us. That's cool, but the truth is nobody's really checking for Tampa Bay, though. Let's be real. That shit was about Brady and Brady and Brady. Ain't nobody checking for Tampa Bay.
Right. But there has to be something said for someone who can leave a team, go play for a brand new team, and in the first year, take them to the Super Bowl and win it. Like, hey, come on, we got to give him his props for that.
Listen, that's why NFL got rigged games, NBA got rigged games. Everybody, if you're a real football head, you know some of those calls throughout the whole playoff was going Tampa Bay's way because they had to do it for Brady. For the simple fact, this is his first year on a different team after like 20-something years, so they had to give him something. They had to give it to him. Let's be real. And it wasn't just Brady; it was his offensive line and his defense and defense who won that game.
Facts, right? Because defense wins games, right?
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we still got to call him the GOAT, but someone who's not really the GOAT right now, and a big story was the homegirl who put Gorilla Glue in her hair.
Ooh.
To get the ponytail slicked down to the side. Like, what? I still don't, I'm like, I don't understand what the hell she could have possibly been thinking, but in the world of social media, it could have been a ploy for social media. So I don't know how y'all feel out there, but like, that shit would have been the donkey of the day on Breakfast Club.
According to her, she said she wasn't doing it for clout. She wasn't clout chasing, none of that. But how do you not see it's the big ass gorilla in the front? Everybody know what Gorilla Glue does, right? That shit holds metal together. You gonna put that shit in your head, though? Come on.
She needed that ponytail real bad.
Yo, but her shit was like patted down, though. Like, and then she put the shampoo in and shit started glowing.
Like, you could have had the edge control. Maybe she had a date. Who knows? Maybe she's getting ready for a date. Speaking of which, Valentine's Day weekend. Before
we leave off of that, right? She raised a lot of money. But the doctor who did her surgery yesterday or today, I think it was, he did it for free. So she pocketed all that money for being stupid.
I mean, to each his own, right?
Pays to be stupid.
The sad part is now people will be hesitant about donating money when it's really necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the sad part. Exactly. So that girl's crazy. She got a blue check off of and a deal, Brendan said, from that whole shit.
She got a blue check and a deal. What kind of deal?
That's wild. If you know what kind of deal, Brendan, leave it in the comments. Hey, Mark, I see you in here. Sharif, I see you in here. What's going on, y'all?
Sharif, what's up?
We're going to find out what kind of deal she got. And again, if you're on IG, please jump over to YouTube, as I will be shutting off the IG in 3 minutes. So jump on YouTube. So it's a big weekend for some folks. It's Valentine's Day weekend.
For some folks.
Some folk. Well, the folks who probably date with intention, right? They have a Valentine. Or maybe those who don't.
You know what it is? I feel sorry for the niggas that's juggling.
Yeah, I mean, it might be easy to juggle on COVID, though. I mean, some places are open. I don't know.
On this weekend, though, how you gonna do that?
Fly out, bounce back. I don't know.
You know what we used to do back then? They'd be like, "Yo, my grandmother's in the hospital. I ain't gonna," you know.
Yeah, nah. Too many people is too much work for me. So, what are people doing for Valentine's Day? Y'all going out? Y'all staying in? You buying gifts? My biggest question is, do you buy gifts for friends on Valentine's Day? Or like buy gifts for someone that you're talking to or dating?
I don't think that's necessary. Okay, dating for how long? Let's just say that.
Great question. Let's do it like 0 to 3 months. I'm gonna treat it like my real estate stuff that I'm learning. 0 to 3 months, and then 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Because you shouldn't be dating beyond like 6 months. I don't think.
You
I
can
don't
still
know.
be talking to somebody for 6 months. Listen,
It's a long time.
yo, but it's mad different from females to guys though. Like I can be talking to you for a whole year and it still be like we just kicking it.
All right, so
You know
we're
what I
gonna go
mean?
into that on this episode because that's leading right into what we're gonna talk about. So 0 to 3 months. You buying the gift, you're not buying the gift.
Nah, we're gonna do a nice little dinner, so I ain't buying you nothing.
All right, so you're gonna go out, you take them out, the normal shit that you would do any other day.
Or I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna cook for you. Or I'm gonna have like a little private chef or something like that, you know?
Okay.
A
All right,
private
I
chef.
can dig it.
Everybody should know a private chef or one of your homegirls that can cook and pass off the food like you made it. Come on.
There you go.
Fellas, step your game up.
Samantha said that's crazy. So Mother Delexis, I hope I said that right. So we here, Thomas need a ring light.
I need a ring light. Yo, my shit crazy, right? Yo, what kind of light? What's your lighting like over there?
It's like YouTube in the basement, but it works. This is all new. We're getting there, right? So I appreciate you so much for being on in the absence of my co-host Lisa. As you guys know, usually Lisa and I are Nice Kicks. She's away this week. She'll be back next week. But welcome to any new viewers. So anybody that Thomas brought on, thank you so much for being here. Sharif Williams said exactly. So he must be in agreement with you on doing a dinner date. And then Mother said we dating until we're married. That is crazy, first of all. And then Mark Joseph, Sizzle, you buying within the first 3 months? I feel like it depends on how I feel. Honestly, it depends on the person. It depends on how I feel about the person, and it depends on the person and where we are in the situation within those first 3 months. Because first 3 months could be hella crazy or could be like hella new.
But Sizzle, what kind of gift you giving though? Like, I mean, are you going small? You going lavish? What are you doing?
I feel like
in the 1 to 3.
I keep saying I feel like I'm in therapy. I feel like for me, I'm not someone who remembers a lot of small details. And so I try, like even with Lisa, right? This girl will remember something I said in terms of something I liked in the store or whatever. She will remember that for like a year. And then my birthday comes up and she's like, look what I got you. And I'm like, how the hell you remember that? Like, when did I even say that? But for me, I don't remember. So I try to pick up on the small things. Like maybe it's a robe or maybe it's something you mentioned that you like.
Or if you wear ones all the time, you buying them a pair of ones?
I'm not buying a pair of ones.
What you mean? Why not? Why not?
I'm not even buying myself a pair of ones. So I'm definitely not buying anybody I'm dating for 3 months a pair of Jordan ones.
You got to notice like the small things though about that person, like what they have on. Like if I notice this person has a bracelet, you know, you can get, it doesn't have to be as expensive. Get some a little small that's equivalent to the same thing. So, you know, I mean, a pair of ones would be nice. You just got to know people who got them for the low.
I guess if you want to give me I mean, I guess it shouldn't matter how you got them. But anyway, let me end IG Live. Anybody on IG still tuning in, jump on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. But I have to force us to allow people to jump on the right platform or else they'll just stay on. So let me get out of there.
Will I be able to see the comments or only you got that?
I feel like Lisa could see them last time. It depends on what you're using. I see Lisa in here. Hey, Lisa. What's up, meet me? It depends on what you're using to watch. So I don't know how it works on a phone. If you're on the laptop, they should pop up. Because I know she was able to see them before.
Comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Okay.
Yeah,
so
press that. And then they should show up. What's up, Mott? So DJ Mott is Mother Delexis. Okay, I see you. Perfect.
What's good, Mott?
In my book, You Dating Until You're Married, we put too much titles. Okay, so we'll get into that.
I don't agree with that. Who said that? I don't agree with that.
That was DJ Mott.
Nah.
Brendan said ones are cheap, $130. You can do that. I can do it. It's not about
you hear that? You hear that? $130 for 3 months. I done took you like 5 dinners and did all this and did all that. You can't spend $130.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money. And that's okay. So we got to get into the episode. We're talking about a lot that has to do with the dating. But to finish that, it's not about the money necessarily. I feel like whatever the gift is, I guess it's about the thought and the meaning and like how much value is there, right? Because if you overvalue a gift for someone that's very new to you, you're going to overvalue that relationship too early.
Which is what I have a problem with nowadays with, with dating and what some of these guys are doing. They're overvaluing these women within the first week or two. That's another whole topic right there.
I'm like, a week or two. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into dating with intentions, because that's what we're going to talk about this evening. And I feel like the Valentine's Day into, gift giving, all that goes right in, segues perfectly into dating with intention. So when you think about dating with intention is dating with a purpose, right? And so, I was having a casual conversation with Brendan and Lex, and I'm like, people should date with intention. Like, I feel like it's crazy if people don't.
It's not for everybody.
Those moments where some people don't. Some people date to smash. Some people date just because they're lonely. Like, they don't have intention. And I thought that was crazy. So that's why we brought the episode to the forefront. So do you think, in your opinion, that people date with intentions, and have you dated with intention?
I feel like every guy, when you meet a woman within the first week or so, or maybe even right on the spot, you automatically kind of put that woman in a category after a little bit of a conversation as to what you want from this woman. Some men, when we meet you, like, oh, yo, she looks good. Yeah, that's a good smash right there. I can tell. Or, damn, that look like somebody I can just hang out with on a regular. Or like, yo, that's wifey right there. I'm gonna hold on to that one. I feel like all men do the same thing. We put women in categories. So every man has an intention. It all depends what that intention is, as what they want for them from them.
Okay. And I agree, and it's good to hear a male perspective. So that's why it's nice to have you on. And I was listening to a YouTube where the guy was basically talking about that specific thing in terms of guys when they date. And sometimes women know too. It's an emotion, It's a feeling, it's your spirit. But if you like that person in terms of, not necessarily if you're 100% compatible, because you learn things about a person as you go on. But a guy knows if he wants to be in a relationship or not pretty early on.
Right.
And he knows pretty early on whether or not you're the person that he wants to be in a relationship with.
I feel like it's the same thing for women too, though. I think I heard y'all know automatically within like 3 minutes if y'all gonna let somebody hit or not, right? Is that true?
I don't know about the 3 minutes.
Okay, 5.
Seriously? 3 minutes to 5 minutes?
That's what I heard.
It depends. I mean, when I used to do interviews and interview people for jobs, I would know, like, for the most part, in 30 seconds, whether or not I would hire that person based on an initial feeling. But then, having to ask more questions and getting to know them led to whether or not I could hire them. Yeah. So I feel like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, Thomas, please. But there are situations where women know whether or not they want to smash a guy and not date them or get to know them.
If you live in a certain city. Let's say like Atlanta, they know off the rip.
Are you from Atlanta?
I used to be out there heavy. They know.
Okay, so you'll be the mayor for Boston and then the mayor for Atlanta, clearly.
I do not want that title in Atlanta. No.
Okay.
Well, not at all.
Don't ask for it here on Nyce Kicks. But okay, so in terms of male and female intentions and dating, based on that conversation, it sounds like, for the most part, some aspect, women and men date similar.
Very similar, but I think women are very more emotionally attached than men. A man just doesn't go out there like, damn, I'm looking for a wifey. Women are literally out there trying to find relationships, like off the rip. Not like, damn, I'm looking for a dude to smash for tonight. Nah. Most guys, when we go out, that's what we're looking for that night. Like, yo, I'm trying to find something home. Where they at? We hungry. We thirsty. A chick is trying to find somebody good to settle down with and see where things go.
Okay. And I did, saw that comment somewhere else where it was like, women tend to invest too much too soon. And so it's a game of logic versus emotion when we're dating and we're, going out with multiple different men. It's figuring out what's true logic in the situation and what's emotion driving us to want to date this person. Right. And, a man, he can have respect for you and not want a relationship. Right. So a man who sees potential acts different and he comes correct. So that for me is like a big thing. If a guy really wants to date you, he's going to act very differently with you than someone he doesn't want to date. But he can still respect you. He can respect you and not want to date you and not want to be with you, but still show you a great deal of respect. So that gets tricky too, because if women are emotional and we see a guy who's very respectful, treats us well in that aspect, we might get emotionally attached to either the intellect or the physical attraction, and then want to date this person, and they may not want to date us. So there's a communication coming in.
Yo, Stizzle, another thing too, it's like a generational thing. I think we live in a generation right now where women between the ages of 21 to let's say 33 are not really dating with the intentions of trying to be with somebody. A lot of these chicks out here, they're just trying to get what they can get. You know what I'm saying? A dude to take them out to a nice dinner, a dude to take them on vacation, or a dude to buy them a bag, whatever the case might be. And if that relationship, let's be real, like situations these days, relationships don't last no more than 6 to 8 months. You're on social media talking about, oh, my boo, this, my babe, blah, 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 blah. A week, month later, it's done. Bad bitches only. It's a wrap. It's just you and your girls now. All pictures are deleted. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like women are just playing the game that men have been playing for a very long time, but they just trying to get them wallets.
Right. And to your point, I think that's a generation thing.
It's a generation thing.
It's an age thing. And there are some older women that I think fall into that same category because of the IG models and the Birkin bags and like all the other materialistic things that drive certain people. So yeah, I can totally see that. But when it comes to dating, like if you're in your 20s to 30s, it's not a bad idea to date multiple people, right? Because
but do you make that known? Do you make that known?
Yeah, you make it known. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How often do women do that? To say, hey, listen, I'm seeing a couple of other people too.
It depends on where they are mentally, right? So if they're in a position where, and what their intentions are, because you can be in your 20s or 30s and understand your intentions when it comes to dating. So it's about, you got to know yourself, right? You have to know what you're looking for and what you want. So if your intention is just to date, go out on dates for a free meal, then cool, do that. But a lot of times, and this might be a little bit all over the place, so follow me, but a lot of times I hear guys talk about women wanting to go out on dates to eat a meal. And I'm like, well, look at who the woman is. If she can afford her own meal, let me tell you something. I'm not going on a date with somebody just for a free meal if I could go buy my own meal.
But it's not even about that sometimes, though. It's not even about the fact that you being able to afford your own meal. I know I have female friends who make great money. They just want to go out with a dude just to be fed when they can buy their own meal.
So their intention is different. Their intention may not be to go out, date, to be with a partner, like to eventually be with somebody. Maybe that's not their intention. And that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the conversation is, do people date with intention? And what does dating with intention look like? Because when you're dating with intention, you have to know yourself. Like I said earlier, you have to be honest with who you are and present your true self up front.
How many people are really doing that? How many people are really doing that though? You know what I'm saying? Showing their true self right off the rip.
A lot of people are doing that. And it takes maturity. It takes going through several situations where you're dating. And, I think oftentimes there's that negative connotation behind someone who dates a lot and goes through a lot of phases of dating people, that's a bad thing. Or that person may beat themselves up like, damn, I'm dating a lot of people. And it's not a bad thing. It's not negative, because if in fact you're dating with intention and you know what you're looking for and you're mature enough to say, each situation that I'm in is to present an opportunity for me to learn more about who I am, perfect. There's no failure, right? Because you should walk out of that dating situation with one person and say, you know what? I learned A, B, and C about myself. I learned what I, can contribute, what I can't contribute, what I'm looking for, what I'm not looking for. So I know going into the next situation, dating someone, how I can be better versus, damn, I fucked up, yo.
Well, shit.
That person ghosted me. I'm not good. No.
It looks like I've been looking for myself for a very long time then. Because
and it could be the case.
I'm the culprit of that, you know what I'm saying? Dating for a very long time, but people get it misconstrued like, oh, this dude's just out here smashing and smashing. Like, nah, you can take a woman out on a date or hang out with a female and you just find out you're not compatible. But a week, 2 weeks later, you see me with a different person and it's the same repetitive thing, because people are going to think what they want to think. Only you and that person know what's really going on.
Well, yeah, and that's where you know you got to be clear on your own intentions. Like you shouldn't be dating for other people to figure out why you're dating someone.
Absolutely not.
Let me just go to a couple comments real quick. So, because it's hard to keep up what they're saying, what we're saying at the same time. But humans can't handle that truth. A woman admitted on TV recently she had no money when she moved to New York and went on dates for the first year just to get a meal for the day because she was broke and would take a doggy bag every time. Right, which I've heard a similar story before too. I definitely heard that story before too.
That's
Again,
wild.
her intentions may be different.
That's wild. She was a hungry hippo.
So people are being upfront off rip. And we'll get to that. So intention should always be clear. I think most people, men and women, show their representation. I can't even
representation.
Representative. Oh my God, what is the problem? In the first few weeks and months, saying mature people aren't really juggling mad people at the same time, and then how aren't they juggling? So Ma and Sam are having a little dialogue. Sharice,
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Mott said mature people are not juggling too many people at the same time.
Right, mad people at the same time. Which
come on, brother, it got nothing to do with that. It got nothing to do with that, DJ Mott. It has absolutely nothing to do with that because you can still. But go ahead. What else they saying? No, I'm saying like you can still be a mature person and still juggle a couple of women at the same time or a couple of guys at the same time. It has nothing to do with your maturity level. It's you're trying to figure out who's right for you. You're not fucking all of these women. You're not fucking all of these men. So find out what's right for you. That doesn't take anything away from your maturity.
Okay. And then Sheree said, I think if people were upfront off the rip, like you said, Mark, then dating problems would be eliminated. 100% facts. And I want to touch on that a little bit because I feel like oftentimes people end up down this downward spiral of being in a situation of dating the wrong person for too long.
Very much so.
Because they're not honest
with
themselves and not honest with that other person up front. So it's like you cannot allow yourself to waste time and then just allow someone to remain in your life and they're draining you, they're depleting you. You know that they're not the person for you, but you're not speaking to that. You're not having that conversation of what bothers you. And it's one thing, everyone has red flags, right? So everyone has red flags that they don't want to deal with, and everyone has red flags that they look for in another person, right? And so when it comes to those red flags and you being turned off by something that someone does and you're in the dating phase, it's okay for that person to present them, you address it, and then if things shift and change, perfect, you can keep moving with it. But if they don't shift and change, then you have a problem, right? And that you got to be able to cut ties with that person and be honest about the things that are bothering you that just will not work.
So you don't think people can change within time? Let's say like 6 months you dating somebody and they start showing you signs of something they didn't show from the beginning. You don't think that, people change over time?
That will definitely happen because
it's 6 months, happen.
Let's be real, 6 months is not a lot of time.
It's not.
And you sometimes find out about a person when you move in with them.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
absolutely.
You find out how a person truly moves and who they
like,
really
yo,
are.
This bitch changed her drawers once a week.
When you live with them. So there will be things that come up, but the baseline characteristics of someone, you learn that pretty quickly. If that person is moving with the right intentions and being honest from the beginning. And there's a difference between being honest and lie, like being honest and telling the truth, and then lying versus withholding certain things. Because I'm totally fine with withholding certain information from a person until you have a complete trust foundation.
Not everything needs to be said off the rip. Off the rip, no. My philosophy is if you don't ask, I'm not telling. You know what I mean? So let's keep that open dialogue. If there's questions and things you want to know, let's talk about it. I'm not just gonna volunteer information. Like, yo, I slept with your sister.
Lisa. You're like Lisa and the Libras. That was on the last week's episode. Y'all,
I'm just saying, if I slept with your sister, you didn't ask, that's on you. You should have asked me.
Yeah, and Virgos. So Swazo said people definitely change over time for sure. DJ Moss said, nah, if you're mature, you dating that person that you know you ain't going nowhere. If you aren't, you're keeping them around and enjoying them with convenient, which yes, that was the kind of point that we made for sure. The other thing too, T, is like understanding that you have to heal from your past in order to date with good intention.
What does healing look like though? It can be different for male and female.
It could be different from male, female, and it could be different person to person, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I think about when it comes to healing is that feeling of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
You want to give somebody a chance because you've been that person that constantly gave people a chance in the past. You feel like you don't have better options out there. Like this is going to be the best fit for you. And like, there's not a billion people in the world.
Right.
But if you can't move past understanding that you are great, there's someone for you, there's other people in the world. You don't need to feel alone. You need to understand how to be alone, right? Because that's different. And it depends on what you're healing. So if you're healing traumatic experiences like abuse, right? Like domestic violence and abuse from a previous relationship, it all goes back to that communication and that honesty and having that conversation with the person you're dating. Like they may need to know that if they move too quick, you might have a response to that. That's a trauma response if you're
Actually,
not healed.
I think with men, you know, people think men don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like we hurt just as much as women do because we're supposed to be the macho ones, supposed to be to take it on the chin. But nah, we hurt too. And you know, as much as women do, but if a woman moves on too quick, let's just say I was dating a chick for 8 months. We broke up. She moved on. A month later, she had another dude. We looking at it like, oh, this nigga's already been there.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there in the back door. That makes us want to do something to him. You know what I mean? Or just we start talking like, oh, fuck all these chicks out here. They all the same, blah, 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 blah. So moving on too soon, but when is too soon? You know what I mean? So that's another thing right there. When is too soon? When is it too soon to move on?
That's a great question. If you guys are listening in and want to leave a comment about that, please do, because that's a great question. When is moving on too soon? And to your point earlier, people like relationships don't last because people are not mature enough to deal with their own shit.
Right.
And like I posted on my IG earlier, my story basically about, you know, people don't want to know that they don't want to deal with their wrongs first.
Right.
And like own and take accountability for how they deal with someone in a dating relationship. And people are so quick to run away from something before meeting it head on. And it all for me ties back to maturity. And
I think
Samantha
that's
made a great
one of
point.
the biggest issues right there. People run away from things without, you know, talking about situation. And I can admit I'm one of those type of people where I don't talk.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of those like I'll let you fade out. I let shit fade out and then, you know, poof, be gone. That's it. I'm not gonna ghost you, but I let shit fade out. So anybody out there listening, I'm a fader.
Don't be a fader.
I'm a fader, not a ghoster. I'm a fader. It's a big
Don't
difference.
be a fader. You can't be a fader, T. You gotta talk through things. You
What
gotta
if I
talk through
okay?
things.
What if her breath stink and I can't tell her breath stink? Like, come on.
So that is going to be the determining factor for everything. That doesn't make any sense.
For me, I just feel like I can't be rude and tell a female your breath stink or your hoo-ha stink or you know what I mean? I'm just gonna
Right, but
fade.
it's not being okay, perfect. It's not how I see it is it's not being rude. And this goes to like this conversation with like hygiene to anything. Like it could go to like having sex with someone and they're not doing it the right way. It's all about how you say what you're saying versus saying it, right? So you gotta be mindful of how you say things to people and understand their
How does a
language.
man say that though? How does a man tell a woman like, hey, listen, you know, the other night it wasn't so fresh and so clean.
I mean, if she likes rap songs, you could say it just like that. Or it could be on some, you know, I really enjoy having sex in the shower.
So we're gonna play it off.
And then just go in the shower. I don't know. You know, when you eat that pineapple, girl, it'll be looking sexy. I don't know. But yeah, again, it depends on what your relationship is with that person too. So, you know, but to your point, you can't dwell on disappointment and dwell in disappointment. Like, you can't just go somebody. I feel like this is my personal opinion. I don't feel like you should just go someone, But maybe that's something I need to work on, and not giving everybody or anybody a reason as to why I don't talk to them anymore or don't want to date anymore, whatever the case may be.
I think that's women. Or women do a lot of the ghosting, and us fellas, it makes us start thinking like, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like if I met you a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we had a couple of conversations. You didn't like how the conversation was going before we even got together. Just for you to say like, hey, it was really nice to meet you. I don't think this is a good match for me. I think we should, not communicate anymore. But good luck to you. Whatever. Don't ever fucking tell me good luck to me. Fuck out of here. But don't ever tell me. This ain't a motherfucking test.
You're
Don't tell me good luck.
impossible.
But you know what I'm saying? Be upfront with me. Don't just stop taking my calls, stop taking my text messages right there. When if I have real intentions of trying to get to know you, let me know so I know how to move accordingly. And say, you know what? Let me move on to the next person and see what's right for me. That's how
But
I
you have to inspect what you expect, right? So you want the person you're dating to be upfront and have a conversation with you. You have to do the same in reverse.
Shit.
Like you have to be able to do that at the same token.
So no
And
more fading.
be the fader hates being faded. Which one sounded right, Elsa? So that trying to figure out the comment. Can we define ghosting when you've been upfront and communicated your non-negotiables already, and you still cross those boundaries set from the jump? So, I mean, how I define ghosting is just like not talking to the person anymore completely. Like you don't give a reason, you just disappear.
Yes,
So if I'm
that's ghosting.
understanding, that's what you think ghosting is too, right?
That's
So if I'm
ghosting, 100%.
understanding Chris correctly, if it's a situation where you've been upfront with someone and you communicated some things that are just non-negotiable that you won't deal with, and they cross those boundaries, are you able, or should you still just ghost that person, or should you have a conversation with that person that yet again?
So I got a PSA for the fellas real quick. All the fellas who are listening to Nice Kicks right now, when we talk, we're talking about ghosting right now. For 2021, this is my PSA for y'all. Don't fucking stop calling. Don't stop texting. Be on her back until she says, hey, listen, this is not working out for me, whatever the case might be. Let her say something. Hit her up in the morning. Good morning. Hit her up at lunchtime. Hey, how was lunch? Hit her up at nighttime. Hey, how was your day at work? At nighttime. Hey, have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hit you up tomorrow. Hope everything is well. Sleep right. Be on her back until she gives you a reason.
It's easy for y'all to hit up a girl and say good morning because 76% of men are saying good morning to 5 different women.
Some of us got that text queued up.
Yes. So a good morning text is like, man, okay, whatever.
But a woman will say good morning back and they don't say shit for the rest of the day.
I guess so. So do you involve your friends in your dating situations? Like, do you go to your friends for advice? How much of that do you get your friends involved? What does that look like for you?
I've learned not to really get my friends involved unless I know it's going to be something serious. I might, talk to my friends. Hey, I met this girl. She seems cool. But even that, I stopped doing that. Keep all my shits on the wrap because you get really a new one. Is she the one? I'm like, yo, you know what, man? You too judgy. Just let me just keep all my shit to myself until I know something real where I can bring her around my friends and talk about this woman. So I keep all my shits on the wraps. I might tell my boys, some of them. But
so what's the determining factors for you when you're dating someone to get where she gets to that point where she can now meet your friends? Like, how do you know she's the one? And are you dating multiple people while dating that person?
I mean, I dated this one female where I was really digging, and I brought her around like I got different sets of crews. I brought her around like my married crew. That means I must really like you if I bring you around my married crew. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if I bring you around just my regular everyday dudes, you just whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on who I bring you around. That's
All
it
right.
for me.
So anybody who's watching this interested in dating Mayor Thomas, You know, based on which event you get invited to, where you are on the list.
But you won't even know who they are.
What a mess. So Leanna said, don't do that. Just let it be known. I'm sorry we ain't working. So a lot of people in the comments, it seems like they're on the wave of just let the person know it's not working and
100%.
get rid of it. And that brings me to another point that I was looking at when I was, going over stuff for this topic, was basically about asking the hard questions first. Like, find out the information that's important and hard from the beginning when you're dating someone, so that way you don't get too far into it.
Right.
And then you have to have the tough conversations, because now you're going to have a strain in your relationship, because it's going to feel like very heavy after it's like butterflies and rainbows. And it's like, okay, why are we doing this now? Like, get that hard shit out the way in the beginning, because it also allows you to filter and understand
we all got
who's for you and not for you.
We all got the interview questions, and I would hope every guy has the interview questions that they want from women, and women vice versa, the same case. But we should all have that 5 questions that we want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, like, what do you do for a living? I start off with that, because I'm not about to be fucking taking care of your ass. How many kids you got? Where do you live? Who do you live with? That type of shit, because you ain't gonna be cooped up in my crib all the fucking time.
Yo, you are a hot mess.
I'm just saying, I'm being real.
Well, you know what you want and what you don't want. That's fine.
I know what I want.
Okay, if that's
the kids is important. The kids is important.
Okay.
Are you cool with your baby daddy or your ex-husband, whatever the case might be? Because I don't want no problems. I'm not here for that.
That's fair. But to that point, and I don't disagree with your 5 questions and what you have, but something else I looked at when it came to being intentional in the dating is focus on the positive, but be prepared for the negative, right? Because too many go into expecting the negative, looking for something to be a problem, or putting in their head that it won't work before they even give it a chance. And like, that's a big deterrent, right? It's hard to evaluate and see things. Like, you can't see things from a broken glass.
Right.
So if you're going into a situation already looking at the negative, you're not going to be able to work on the positive. So for you, some of those questions are like trigger questions, right? Because you said, no, I want to know if you got your own crib, because you ain't about to be up in my crib. Like, that's already looking at it from that broken glass, that maybe her company is going to be aggravating as hell. When at the end of the day, you might actually enjoy her company and want her to be at your house more than you think, because you're looking at it from the mindset of maybe what happened before, and who before was all in your shit, or maybe you're just someone who needs your privacy. But
if I can't come to your house, it's a problem.
But if you can't go to their house, it's a problem?
Yeah. Like, oh, there's too many people there. I'd rather come here. Like, hold on. Who the fuck do you really live with? You might have a husband in the background somewhere, you know what I mean? And another thing too, if you're 32 years old and you got a 15-year-old, no.
But why is that no? Like,
no.
All right, that's your no. I cannot do your no. But again, there's a story behind everything. And it could be like, what if she had a child when she was 17, and then that
good with the math, huh?
Yeah, that story helped. Shut up. I went to that school. I just didn't go to school spelling intentions correctly or saying representative correctly, whatever. But like,
okay, that's fine.
In that case,
multiple kids,
at 17, she ended up being a dope ass woman, and like, you missed out on that opportunity because you're like, bro, she's 32 with a 15-year-old. Come on.
That's fine. Okay, you don't have a 15-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. I'm done.
All right, fair.
Fellas, do y'all agree with that?
Someone said, damn, bro, you're ruthless. So I was gonna say you're ruthless. Leanna, sure would just respond, good morning. If you want me to speak your mind. Okay, so that was on another comment that we had. And Mark Joseph agreed with you. Facts. The married crew hate having hoes around. I feel like in that case, why is that? Because it's too tempting. Like, that's what I go through in my mind.
It's too tempting.
It seems like it's too tempting. So in terms of the steps, right? Because there has to be steps to get to that next part in dating. And I want to speak to the ladies for a second, because
I'm gonna fill my glass while you talk to the ladies, right quick. I'm gonna fill my glass.
I'm glad you get off camera on our YouTube live.
Well, you know what though? I'm gonna take the camera with me.
No, it's okay. In terms of ladies, like, again, going back to that point where we get emotional and it's logic versus emotion, when it's about the steps on dating and being able to date with intention. Sham Body, I don't know if you know her or if you're aware of her. I started following her today on Instagram after listening to a podcast that she was on. Dope. Like, she's a psychology, she does sex therapy, if I'm not mistaken, but she literally had a lot of great gems for the ladies. And one thing that she mentioned in terms of like the steps of dating with intention is date with, and I'm reading this, y'all, so I don't mess it up because it's from someone else's perspective, but date with dominance. So having a clear vision of what you want, be in the driver's seat. And that like hit home for me because a lot of times I feel like women tend to sort of settle in a sense if they're not truly sure who they are. They settle for an approval rate and they settle for making sure that the hat is on correctly and it fits the token of someone else versus what is it that I want, right? And you got to be in the driver's seat because you can't allow someone else to steer your ship where you want to go. And why, as women, do we often do that? We allow our jobs to steer our careers based on what we're able to land quickly with a little bit of decent salary, etc. So thinking about a relationship from the same perspective. And then another key is knowing your, like we talked about knowing yourself, but that's deeper than just like knowing you. I'm a Gemini and like Geminis do A, B, and C, but knowing like your attachment style, knowing your love language is important. Knowing like the type of person and personality that brings out the best in you and the ones that bring out the worst in you and like who wouldn't be good for you. And understanding that it's okay to cut those ties in the beginning because you don't even want to go into that relationship. If you know you get around somebody and the energy's good and like you're like me, I'm very much so an introvert, extrovert. Like I'm kind of both.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Let me finish my statement. I'm kind of both, but I tend to be a little bit more introverted more often, right? But if I'm around the right person that I have a good energy with, I'm completely an extrovert. And I'll know, okay, maybe this is somebody that I can be around and position myself to date because the energy is there. And that's important versus if you get around somebody and you're on a date with someone and y'all are out having dinner and you don't feel any kind of energy, that might not be the person. You got to feel some kind of energy.
So here's my thing with that, right? Like, I think a guy can be so into this woman, feeling this woman, right? Wants shit to go right, and he loses himself. I've done that a couple times, and niggas would be like, "Yo, T, what the fuck? That's not even you." It was like, "Yo, I was into shorty, so I really wasn't being myself. I was acting like some nerd nigga that I'm really not." And then the vibe is lost.
Because you're coming from a place, I think, and everybody in the comments leave your comment. I think that's coming more from a place of you could either be nervous, right? Because nerves play a big part. If I'm nervous, I'm a mess. I'm a complete mess. I'm not me. I'm somebody else. And a lot of times, not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. I need to stop saying a lot. But sometimes when we do Nyce Kicks and we're on live, I'll have people hit me up like, that ain't you. And I'm like, it is me, but like this shit's nerve-wracking for me half the time. Like if y'all saw me 10 minutes, 15 minutes before Nyce Kicks pops off, I'm literally like, no matter how much I go over the information, I'm like, fuck, yo.
I don't think people get it. It's a different animal when you're preparing for some shit. Before every show that I do, I'm like, shit, because you want shit to go well. I rehearse my shit? What am I gonna say? But then people don't get it. They don't get it. And
I always want the audience to be engaged.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, even though I know I got my script, I see my notes, in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get off topic. I don't want to go the wrong way. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I may feel to someone who really knows me that I'm not projecting my true self or I'm trying to be someone else. And it's like, I'm not trying to be anyone else. Exactly. I'm just trying to be live on stage and pivot in the moment. And that gets challenging. So anyway, the point behind that was back to the whole, you might be nervous or it could be a lust situation. And oftentimes lust gets confused with having like honest chemistry with somebody. It's one thing to lust and it's one thing to be in love and have chemistry and be on the same page. Like lust is so easy and lust is from the flesh.
It's easy.
Having that love is from the spirit.
It's easy. Lust is easy because I
Don't
feel
be
like
Ashanti and me on your phone on my live.
that shit pissed me off. Like, yo, stop fucking laughing every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's people text me about this shit and all that. So
Okay, tell
shaking,
them next time to tune in, subscribe, like the page, and all
shaking
that.
shaking their head.
Yes. Another thing for the ladies, and it's for the guys too, but we kind of talked about it earlier, is don't want the fast route, right? And a lot of times when people are dating, they want the quickest way possible to get to the end result, whether it's sex or it's a relationship or it's the title. But like actually at the end of the day, what can be given quickly can be taken away quickly. And so you got to be mindful of, you have to plant the seed, and seeds take time to sprout. And so you can't be in a
rush with the
rush.
metaphors and shit.
Yeah, I think in analogies too sometimes. But you can't be in a rush to be in a relationship or in a rush to have a title, because shit takes time. And you have to nurture and grow. And sometimes in this world, people get into their grooves, whether it's past trauma not healed or just, I don't even know, but they get into the mode. And I've done this myself, where it's like, I'm talking to you like we're in a relationship. And it's
or I'm
that's not
treating you like
happening.
we're in a relationship. Like,
Or
hold
you're
on, what
treating the
the fuck?
situation like you're in a relationship.
Exactly.
And you got to stop doing that. You got to pump the brakes a little bit. Because
Yeah,
that's
I
a
mean,
slippery slope.
that's a lesson that I've learned. You know what I'm saying? Stop treating every female that I'm really interested in as if we're already together. And then she feel like, yo, this nigga doing too much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or, you treat it that way and you do a lot and it doesn't work out, and then you don't heal from it, jump into the next situation thinking that she's taken from you. She's taken. Like, I remember dating someone and he told me I was controlling, right? And I was like, because I asked you to chill with me in the room versus in the living room on your phone, I'm controlling. But had he learned my love language and understood that like quality time is big for me, it would have been a different mindset. But maybe for him, he dated someone who was controlling and their behaviors was always me, 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 me. And so he went into the relationship with me thinking that, oh, red flag, controlling, because he didn't heal.
Stizzo, I think y'all need to do a show. You and Lisa Marie need to do a show about love languages, because
we did. I
oh,
think
y'all
you need
did
to watch
already.
Nyce Kicks
Oh,
more often.
my bad. Because I'm just thinking about Tyrese right now. These are the signs of love making.
We did. I mean, it doesn't mean we can't remix it for 2021, but we definitely did an episode on love languages, because those are so important when it comes to dating and being in a relationship. Like, love language is every.
I think that shit is important for women. Men don't give a fuck about that shit.
Men do. Actually, men do.
What's my love language? I'm fucking dope.
I'll send you the quiz to take your love language quiz. And
somebody sent me that quiz and I stopped calling them.
What?
Yeah. I said, I ain't got time to do this shit, man.
We gotta talk offline, because
I said, I ain't got time to do this shit, man. Like, you want me to fill out a fucking test just to date you? Like, get the fuck out of here.
That's important.
Nah, come on. Let's be humans. Let's interact. Let's talk. I ain't gonna fucking write shit down.
You can interact and talk, but to my point, you gotta know yourself and know the other person. You have to know styles.
I know me.
But the other person doesn't know you.
I'm gonna teach you me. I'm gonna learn you something.
No, see, that's not dating with intention. That's dating with selfishness. That's dating with pride. That's dating with ego. That's dating for you.
Me teaching you about me. You teaching me about you. That's not dating with intentions. That's what it's all about. Human interactions, right?
If you don't know your love language, which is what you just said, you
all
can't
five
teach
of
someone else your love language.
All 5 of them. Pick one.
You're not all 5. Well, you got a piece of all 5, absolutely. But
okay,
the category, like the percentage of one is greater than the other. Like, come on.
Send me that test. I'll take that shit.
See, you gotta open your mind and open your heart and let the ego sit.
What ego? There's no ego. It's just
everyone has ego.
I'm not for the bullshit.
But again, that's not bullshit. That's a woman understanding that she knows what she's looking for, but also think about it this way. Instead of focusing on the negative, right? Mm-hmm. Think about it like maybe she cares enough to want to understand what makes you happy and what speaks to you, so she can tap into that.
I'm gonna tell you.
But you don't even know it yourself, bruh.
If you rubbing my feet and I say, yo, chill, stop. Don't do that shit no more. So I'm telling you.
Swazzle doesn't know his love language either, so I need
See,
to get him
most
a
men
quiz.
don't.
You
Most
gotta
men
take
don't.
the test. You gotta take the test, T. You
Yo,
gotta take the
Swazo,
test.
let's take that test and share our results.
I know mine. I
Now,
have
I'm
mine.
talking about Swazo. We're gonna take ours and share our
Oh,
results.
Swazzle, yes, definitely do that. So anyhow, we're coming up about 5 minutes left into Nice Kicks for this episode.
I want some questions. I want questions from the audience, like what they got to say.
Yes, you guys put your questions in the comment box. I don't know why I yell every episode, and I'm like literally right here to the screen. But a powerful quote that I heard is, when you are in control of the output, you have now given yourself control of the outcome.
I like that.
So it's like when you're in control of what you put out into your dating relationships, that sounds so crazy. Into all right, what you put out when you're dating, if you have control of that, you've given yourself control of the outcome. And it's about learning. I think the biggest aha and going through this whole practice was learning and being better each time you date. And I think someone who doesn't have experience with being in relationships for a good amount of time,
right,
is going to almost always be in a position of learning, because they haven't gone through a relationship with someone to understand how relationships work. And relationships are hard. They're not roses and butterflies.
This ain't easy.
They're hard
not
work.
Easy.
It takes patience, it takes understanding, it takes honesty, and it takes consistency. And that's a big thing that, you know, people look to instant gratification nowadays in 2020, and it doesn't work like that. So you have to date multiple people. You have to set your boundaries. So if you are dating someone, if it's just, you find out that you only want to date that person exclusively, if you guys are on the same page, date exclusively. No problem with that.
So when it comes to that, like, you know, fellas, I want to ask y'all a quick question. Can you handle a woman telling you that, you know, I'm seeing a couple of other people as well? It's not just you. Can you handle that? Because most men, our ego would not allow us to handle that.
Thought you didn't have an ego, bro.
I never said that.
Whatever.
I'm a man. I got ego.
But that's a great question. That's a great question.
So fellas, how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, it's a good question for the ladies too.
True.
And I'll answer that for you. For me, it's only hard when the person that I'm dating, if we haven't discussed boundaries and what the dating looks like, and I feel like you're treating me like we're in a relationship.
So you don't want to be treated as if you're in a relationship right off the bat?
No.
How long in a relationship? 1 to 3? Closer to 3?
1 to 3 months, you're saying?
Yeah.
I think for me, and again, I don't want to pull my Gemini trait out and I'll be like changing my mind 5 minutes from now.
How soon before a nigga calls you babe?
Honestly, I think it's a matter of my spirit and
that term is so loose.
And learning the other person, because oftentimes, again, we work off of flesh. We work from here, right? And we work from the outward. What are we feeling versus what are we logically knowing and understanding about a person? But I can say the one thing that I constantly have to work on, even at 38 and having relationships for many years, some like shorter than others, is understanding that I have to be confident and stern in my position when it comes to men. Not so much women, because you know I've dated women too, but when it comes to men, I have to understand to set my boundaries and stand my grounds, right? And not be okay accepting the okie doke or just accepting anything because it feels good. And be okay that, because for me, I hate disappointing people. I hate making someone feel like I did something wrong to them. Oh shit. Like oftentimes, and it could be a little bit of gaslighting, but oftentimes if someone's mad at me about something that I brought up to them and had a conversation with them about because they did something wrong to me, and now that it looks like they're mad at me, now I feel fucked up. Like, why should I feel bad? I didn't even do shit.
Sizzle, we're coming up on an hour. Is this gonna cut off?
No, it won't cut off. It's not like Instagram. It's fine.
Okay. All right, perfect. All
Um,
right, so I got a poll question for Nice Kicks.
yep.
I think y'all should do this on Instagram. Those keywords right there. How soon before you start calling someone babe?
Okay.
Because I got a problem with that.
You do the poll, and
I don't know how
then
to do
we'll
that
find
shit.
out.
I ain't savvy like that.
All right, we got a couple questions. Stizzle, what are your 5 dating questions? Z said there shouldn't be any test. I'm good with it as long as she's upfront and only changes once it gets to the physical. I'm
My
Southern
nigga.
old school. I don't multitask, so that's probably like having one person. Mama told me only entertain one woman at a time. Elsa, you never stop learning, even if it's the same person for 10 years. Yes, I agree.
Very true.
There's
Very
always
true.
something to learn, and life is about learning.
Right.
And Leanna said, I can handle if it's clear, but don't think most men can. That said, I don't prefer to date multiple people at one time. So back to your question on can a man handle dating more than one person? So Z said, only entertain one woman at a time. His
Who's
mama
Z?
told me only entertain one woman at a time. I
Z.
don't have 5 questions necessarily.
Z, we gonna hang out.
She's a male.
We gonna hang out, Z.
I don't have 5 necessarily, but I do always ask what someone's intentions are, because for me that's important. And you may not know day one what your intentions are, but if we're
Right.
talking for a good amount of time, I need to know what your intentions are. And if you're not straight on your intentions, I'm gonna have to reevaluate where you are in the situation with me. And see, sometimes with women that could be a problem, because that made me, some people you just need to cut off. But
Okay.
also,
True.
again, I go back to my spirit and how I feel, because there's sometimes when I feel like a person may honestly not know their intentions because they don't have enough experience. So let me give them the benefit of the doubt. And that could be wrong too. Who knows?
So are you a ghoster or a fader?
I say too much. So I'm gonna be the person that's gonna be like, yo, Thomas, I don't want to do this anymore. You're a good dude, but like I'm gonna say it. Like I always feel like, again, to my point earlier, I hate to make people feel bad. So I always feel like, damn, I gotta answer up or I gotta say something. Like I don't think I ever really ghosted anyone. If I have and you guys are on the live, let me know. But I don't think so. What else? I mean, I also haven't dated a lot, I'll be honest. Anyone that I've been in a relationship with, and we know you and I, we know each other, so we know people that I've dated or been in a relationship with, I know through someone else, and then that's how it started. I went on dates when I was in New York, and that was real awkward. It's like the basics. What do you do for work? I like to know if people have, kids, or, what their situation is that way. Financially, I don't ask that up front.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not
I know
doing
for
that.
somebody to ask me that up front, like,
How do you even ask that question? How do you fix your mouth to ask that question? You know what I mean?
that was one of your 5 earlier.
No. What do you do for a living? I'm not asking like how much you got in your bank account, because everybody should have a fucking job.
That's, to me, it's the same.
Okay, it's a little
Just
different.
know that I'm good. That's all I want. Just know that I'm good.
Like, if she says, "Just know that I'm good," I'm like, damn, this bitch got a dope dealer boyfriend. You fucking with ghosts like
Y'all
James
really
St.
must be
Patrick?
thinking crazy shit when a girl says that or a woman says that. Just know that
Oh, she
I'm
got a
good.
James St. Patrick.
I'm taken care of. Because
Right.
sometimes, it might be a conversation for later. But yeah, I like to understand like a person's mindset, what their purpose, what they feel like their purpose is in life, like what they're interested in, their hobbies. I think basic things, and
Basic
then later
shit.
down the
Yeah.
line, other stuff
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like when I meet somebody, I just want them to be yourself off the rip. Be yourself. As raw as it might be, or as if I don't like it or not, or you don't like it, I'm gonna be myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I play myself for a sucker, going out on a date and acting like some nerd nigga that I'm really not.
And you
And
need to be yourself.
the chick cut me off. She hit me up like, "You're a dope dude. I really like your vibe, but I don't think this is a match." I was like, "What did I do wrong?" But wait,
And
that wasn't me. You know what I mean?
and that okay. So what was the point I was going to make with that? Here's the thing, and it goes back to the Shayna, I want to say her name right, Shan Body podcast that I was listening to. It's at the top. Hold on, let me go to my notes, y'all, because I like to say things verbatim. The question was, how do you know if you are single by choice or single by circumstance? I.e., you're like single by circumstance, meaning you're holding your guard up. And she was saying, are you deciding when connections go forward or not? Are you waiting for the phone call or choosing who you call? How in control do you feel about the relationships you are having? If you feel like you're the one, ending it is probably a sign that you aren't putting in the work beforehand to really think about the connection that you want. So that's for you. If you're ending it with someone else,
that's a loaded
you're
question.
probably not thinking about what you want beforehand. So you don't, it's like going to buy a car. If you don't know what you're looking for in that car before you go buy the car, you're just going to settle for any car, right? Because they're going to sell you on the bells and whistles that you never even thought about. And then that's going to cost you extra $10,000.
That's real.
And then if you are the one getting ended on, it also points back to you. But her point in that was, it's not a bad thing. It's a reflection moment. Like, okay, this ended for a reason. What did I learn from it? So she may not say to you like, oh, you're a good dude, I really enjoyed this time. But you could have said in the conversation that your niece gets on your nerves or something silly, like whatever. In her mind, she was thinking, oh, he doesn't want kids. And boom, that was her trigger. But she wasn't honest to ask you the question. So that's on her. It's not on you.
I deaded it. I was like, okay, cool. But then I felt like shit. I had to call my man, and I told my man exactly what happened. He was like, yo, T, nigga, that's not you. I know you. I'm like, yeah, I know. I disappointed myself. Whatever. It happened.
Janice said, I don't think most men can handle a woman being in an open relationship, but respect should never be compromised. Be very clear about when you're together. There's no need to speak about others.
We can't.
Yeah, I think that's key, and that's
100%.
Critical.
We can't.
Leanna said, honestly, no time limit to call someone babe, but definitely think it should not be in the dating phase, but once y'all actually have something exclusive established.
What's the okay now?
I've been a victim to that.
I have another question. Babe is the play word everybody uses versus baby, because baby is just thrown around. Baby's a whole nother ball game.
Well, what I was always told is if a man calls you his lady,
his what?
If a man calls you his lady,
his old lady,
his lady, he's
his
serious
lady.
about you.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's my lady.
Bae, if you bae for the, you could be bae for the day.
You could be bae for the day or day for the night. Like
facts. So this lady, fine. Call me bae while we dating. All right, bae.
If you're a lady, you here for the week.
Right. Z said no one will ever fix their mouth to inquire about my available account balance. Z, I'm gonna text you after this live and ask you what's in your account.
I need to hang out with Z.
Sharif, if a man messed up, is there anything he can say to get you back? I think that really, and you can speak to this from a male's perspective to the ladies, but from my perspective, it depends on what that messed up is. Because I've dealt in a situation where I've had a couple of situations that were not okay with me and that were like, what the hell? But in understanding that people are human and people learn, and dating and talking to someone is a learning curve.
Right.
You have to understand that it depends on what your boundaries are and what is too much. And back to the red flags, if there's a red flag and it's talked about and it's changed, then move forward from it. If there's a red flag and it's talked about and it's kind of brushed under the rug, or the blame is then put on you, then you got a problem and you might want to think about reevaluating that situation.
I mean, that's a very good question, because I think as men, we always want to know, how can we get her back? Do we buy, monetary shit? Do we buy gifts? Do we take her somewhere? Or do we say those key words? We always want to know how to get that one person back.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have the answers.
It depends on the what's the messed up, because you have to be be mindful of.
Let's just go with the go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you teach people how to treat you. So
very much so.
What the messed up is, if you accept any and everything, someone's gonna teach you like you're any and everything. And some things are just not acceptable.
Is there coming back from cheating?
In my opinion, no.
That's you as an individual.
That's me. For me, trust is like a piece of paper. once it's crumbled, it will never look the same. So if someone cheats on me, I feel like it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I would have a very hard time trusting that person again.
Yeah,
Period.
I mean, trust plays a factor, but look at it like this from a male perspective, and I'm pretty sure a lot of fellas can feel what I'm saying. If you don't feel what I'm saying, like, please comment. We want to hear what y'all think. I think men cheat because we're infatuated with different parts of a woman. You know what I mean?
So go ahead.
The next woman might have something that my lady doesn't have. It might be her eyelash, her eyes, her nose, her lips, her breasts, her ass, whatever the case, or just even her voice that we're attracted to. That doesn't mean we want to leave the person that we're with. Think about the statistics of men who cheated and left that woman for the woman they cheated on. It's not that high.
So y'all know I'm gonna get in Thomas's ass right now, right? Because that's another episode we already did on Nyce Kicks that you missed clearly.
But this is just shit I be thinking about.
So we're gonna need you to go watch back a few episodes of Nyce Kicks.
What episode was that so I can go back?
We did an episode on why people cheat like 2 weeks ago. It was either 2 or 3 weeks ago.
But I'm making it specific why men cheat.
We did that. We did why men and women cheat. That was
why do women cheat? Why do women cheat? Why do women cheat?
You missed it. You're gonna have to go back and watch it.
I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, you and Z are gonna hang out because he over here singing Whitney Houston. Hearts are often broken when there are words unspoken. Edgar said, but what is considered cheating? And I believe Edgar was on that episode with us. And basically, whatever is considered cheating is the boundaries that you establish with the person that's your partner. Okay. Z said, even if you're married, Stacey, yes. If I'm married and you cheat, there's a divorce. Because how I look at it, how I look at it, okay, we should know each other well enough that, you know, I might talk to a girl here and there. So you better come tell me who you want to cheat with, because we might do it together. No, so I'm kidding.
Okay, let me stop. I'm about to say it's okay for you.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not cheating for eyelashes, bro. I can't. Men don't leave.
This nigga stupid. Who said that shit?
Men cheat because of insecurity and lack of maturity. Okay, we already did a cheating episode, so we're not going through that. I appreciate the comments, but we're not gonna go into
this nigga said I'm not cheating for eyelashes, bro. Chances are them shit ain't even real.
I can't. All right, so wrapping it up, my last point, and you can make your last point, is basically art is a craft that you work on to develop the skill. I feel like dating to find a relationship is a craft that you work on and you have to develop the skill. And in order to do that, I'm going to pull from Shambadi one more time and say it comes with discipline, theory, practice, and guidance. You got to have those 4 things and constantly work on those 4 things to perfect your craft. So date as much as you need to, date as often as you need to, make sure you heal, make sure you're honest and you're transparent in your dating, make sure your intentions are clear, and be well.
I mean, you know, with my closing remarks, I'm not going to be as elaborate and so, you know, thought forward like, you know, Stizzle was. She did her homework on that whole shit. Fellas, ladies, I'm just going to say, you know, dating with intentions, we are at the age that we're at. Just know what you want from that individual. You know, learn that person, give that person the opportunity to learn you, which I'm guilty of. I don't give too many people 0.1% the opportunity to get to know me. I feel as if letting that person be in your presence to see what your daily movements are, to talk on the phone, just so they're learning and say, you know, okay, I see how he does. Can I deal with that? Vice versa. And then make a determination as if this is the right fit for me or this is the right fit for her. So keywords, learn that person, learn each other, learn you something. Like Black said. What's the artist name? Black? BL 6K, whatever.
Oh, 6 Black. I call him
6 Black. Girl, yeah. You need to let me learn you something.
Yes. Or it could be Bobby V. Slow down.
Oh, slow down.
I
One of
want
those.
to know you.
One of those. One of those. So
Yes, for sure.
take your time. You know what I'm saying? Like Stizzo said, date other people. You know, be open with if let that person know if you're seeing other people. You're not committed to anybody. My thing is, I don't like to say that I'm dating someone because I'm not really dating anybody. I meet people, and when someone asks me, that's what I tell them. Yes, I meet people. End of story. That's it.
And to Mark's last comment, I'm going to take it out with this one. Mayor 2021, are you taking your own advice? Mark, we know the answer to that already.
Wait. Somebody asking me that?
Because clearly you're not in 2021. But
I'll be in the
anyway,
house.
listen, so Mayor, thank you so much for coming through and taking the spot for Lisa on Nice Cakes on the Dating with Intention episode. Make sure you guys tune into the Mayor's Lounge on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Check them out. Go to Spark FM, download the app, him and Racine and Steve-O. So please support. Thank you to everyone who watches this live with us. Lisa and I are so grateful. Like we never, and I say this all the time, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. We never thought the support would be so deep with Nice Kicks. And although it could be 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, 40 people, we appreciate the love so much. And I want to make sure we can continue to rock with you guys and bring you some great content. So make sure you tune in next week. Our episode next week, I don't even know what it is off the top of my head. But make sure you're here. Thursday, 8 o'clock, I'll be back with Lisa. Also, if you are interested in being on an episode of Nice Kicks, let me know because now we're on StreamYard. We can pull people into the conversation. You can be live with us. So don't hesitate. Love you guys so much. Mayor Thomas, I appreciate you dearly. You already know what time it is.
Thank you.
And I hope
I
everybody
know
has
what
a good
time it
night.
is. It's 9:19 Eastern time.
I'm
I've
going to
been
knock you
drinking.
out.
I've been
Thank
drinking,
you,
but no,
everybody, for your comments. Like the video. Tell your friends to subscribe. Nice Kicks is here. We out. I love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all.
I didn't even get my closing words in this shit. Like, I didn't even get to thank you. Thank you and Lisa Marie for having me. She wasn't here. I told you I was gonna be drinking. Might say some shit. Don't take my words too serious. It's just conversation. But I really appreciate you and you and Lisa and what y'all do. I think y'all open up the conversation to a lot of people for things that are not being said, and it takes women to bring those conversations out. So I'm here whenever y'all need me. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for everybody for commenting. Make sure y'all check out the Mayor's Lounge this Sunday. We're doing our R&B edition with Ray Royale is going to be in the building. DJ Slayer is going to be doing the sex tingles thing. It's going to be all R&B all night. I'm going to talk shit on the mic like I'm Don Simpson or fucking David Allen Boucher. Y'all know who David Allen Boucher is. I'll see y'all.
I'll be there. All right. Good night, everybody. Peace. One love.